Hello and good morning from the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. This is our final morning before we all head back home. Mom's going to Pensacola, Dennis is going to Atlanta, I'm going to Orlando. But we still have one more fun day together with Travis and Christine and Margot and her parents. Well, Margot's grandparents, I suppose, to choose. This is our lovely hotel room accommodations, which were pretty comfortable. We have a nice little view out here. This is actually where Travis took us yesterday when he was taking us on the detour to where we ended up, which was the video game arcade bar. But we're about to head over to Travis and Christine's place because you are going to be going to brunch with Christine.
Ladies
and
brunch.
Mrs. Chu and Margot. So are you ready to check it out?
I guess I'm mixed emotions about going home. I missed your daddy and eager to get back home to him and mom, my mom. But I'm gonna miss that baby and of course Travis and Christine too. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye, but hopefully we'll see them again soon.
Well, let's head on out.
Okay, bye.
All right, and here we go, heading out of the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. Gotta jump in the revolving door here. And here we are, right outside. There's Forest Park, right across the street. And we're heading over towards Travis and Christine. This is the front of the hotel, and this is the more iconic building for the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. Our room was kind of on the other side, facing that street. Didn't really show the front of the hotel facade much, but like I said, now we're heading off to try to meet up with Travis and Christine and the parents and Margot and have some lunch for the ladies, and then whatever us boys get up to, I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out. The opposite side of the street from where our room was the pool room, which we of course did not utilize this trip because of the colder weather. A lot was very interesting about this trip and just the time frame that we chose to come here, because we did have a lot of plans to go to an apple orchard, to go to the Botanical Gardens, which I think we're going to be going to today. I'm not totally sure, but every day that we pretty much planned to do something, there would be kind of a hiccup with it in terms of the hours of operation or whether or not it was open. But I still think we had a pretty incredible time, and it just gives us a reason to come back in the future. When Brennan and I came last year, we got to rent these scooters to take those around Forest Park. We went to the St. Louis Science Center, we got to go to the City Museum, we got to go apple picking, we got to go just so many different places that we didn't get to experience this time, but I think that's kind of the point. You want to do something a little bit different every single trip that you have, and this trip absolutely was 100% more so about just spending time with Margot, Travis, Christine, and her parents. So I'm not disappointed whatsoever, but we've almost made it to Travis's place, so hopefully we can do something fun with Travis. Good morning, Travis.
Good morning, Roy.
How are you doing?
Great.
We're playing Dominion yet again. We put in an order for some breakfast, right?
Yep.
And we're going to be picking that up in a little bit. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Roy.
How are you doing so far?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm doing better.
No, you're not.
All right, and we just picked up our breakfast from Caldi's Roasting Company. We got a couple breakfast sandwiches and some pumpkin spice lattes, right, Dennis?
Pumpkin spice lattes!
Woohoo! And then Travis is the bag of sandwiches right over there. And here are our breakfast sandwiches. Travis and Dennis got some egg bagels there, and I got this cheddar biscuit. I added some bacon on there, and this is one of the donuts from the other day. Also, I don't know if I've showed this off, but this is from Eckert's. This was the apple farm that Brennan and I went to last year with Travis and Christine. And they make some wine, and Travis, you shared the wine with us, and they have apple, they have strawberry, they have blackberry, was it?
Yeah.
And then peach. So we've been enjoying that quite a lot. I'm gonna enjoy this pumpkin spice latte like the basic little boy I am. So here we are at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. It's really exciting because the seasons are changing right now, you know? We're just getting into the beginning of fall, some leaves are starting to change, and the roses are in full bloom. So let's go in and check them out. I love your excitement, Dennis. So we just got finished with breakfast. We played Dominion a few times while Dr. Chu actually looked after Margot, because it was just Christine, Mrs. Chu, and Mom that went to brunch. They had a fantastic time, enjoyed their food, and then now here we are at the Botanical Gardens.
See, that's the Roy versus the Dennis intro. I'm concise. I give you what you need to know. Roy gives you the background, the story, the visuals.
It's a narrative experience. All right, Travis got the tickets. We're heading inside. All right, so we're inside the Botanical Gardens. There's the family kind of way up there. We got some koi food apparently to feed some giant koi fish that they have here in the garden. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm not sure if that's where we're gonna be going first, but we're following Travis's lead because he's been here. Well, him and Christine, without a doubt, have been here many times. So I'm sure they know exactly where they're going. This place is absolutely gorgeous. and serene. I'm mostly excited about this koi fish feeding. I think right now Travis is just taking us on a roundabout tour of the grounds because we're heading back in this direction. This is a pretty pleasant way to spend our final few hours here in St. Louis before we have to hop on our flight back home. So similarly to the St. Louis Zoo, I'm probably not going to be able to show off the entirety of our visit today just because of how expansive the property is. But I think we're going to be going along this trail right here. Some of these buildings aren't open to the public right now, but this is exciting. A lot of them have already been here before. I have not. So I'm excited to see pretty much all of this. We're over by the Rose Garden and it looks like they are starting to set up for Christmas. We saw Halloween at the zoo. Now we're seeing Christmas here at the Botanical Gardens. All right, there's some autumn inspired little areas here too at the zoo. This is cool. I think we're heading into the Chinese garden now over here, which this is interesting. So never mind, it looks like this area, much like a few other areas here today, is unfortunately closed. That looks very, very tranquil back there, but I guess we are continuing on in this direction, I'm presuming. Still following the path through the garden here. It seems like it's just going to be pretty much a one-way loop around the garden. Wow, this area is beautiful. Look at all these flowers.
Isn't this nice?
This is gorgeous. Oh, they're going to do a 3-generation picture with my mom, Travis, and Margot. This is a beautiful section of the garden here with vegetables and flowers. This is gorgeous, Travis.
Yeah, man.
Are there apples over here?
Yeah, that's the apple, this is the pear, that's the plum.
Yay, we went to an apple orchard after all, right?
Yay, Roy, we did it!
We did it, hooray! This is really cool. Look at all of these, I'm presuming gourds up here just suspended in the air. We can't go in this direction, similarly to a lot of the botanical gardens, but that is super cool. By the way, it is like in the 80s right now. It is incredibly hot. It's way too hot for a sweater, but at least it's comfortable. I'm gonna hopefully not feel too much of a change heading back to Orlando.
This is what crab apples are.
Crab apples?
Yeah.
These little guys up here?
They exist.
They do exist. A decent amount of the gardens are unfortunately closed. I'm pretty sure we're right around here, so I'm assuming that we're going to be going to the koi fish pond to feed them. So we're about halfway into our loop of our walk around the botanical gardens. The family just went right over there by the water, so I'm assuming that that's going to be the koi pond. Yeah, I think we're going to be feeding the koi from that bridge right over there. And it looks like there's a little path to cross the creek. Here, this is exciting. I want to fall in. There we go. That was pleasant. Now I just gotta catch up with the family. So never mind, that bridge is apparently closed to the public, as is the entirety of that island that it leads to. And I asked Travis, he said that the koi pond was up here somewhere. So we're gonna be feeding those koi at some point, I hope. And here we are, we've arrived at the koi bridge. Look at all of these massive koi fish down here fighting for the koi food. Look at this. These are all my koi, and there's a couple geese over here that keep trying to join in on the fun. This is interesting. Look at this. Look at all of these massive koi fish. This is incredible. What? Now I'm over on the other side where the rest of the family was, and there's even more koi over here. Look at all of these guys. This is intimidating.
Oh, he would have had that.
All their mouths just sticking out of the water. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, I just hit the geese in the head.
Travis, help yourself, Mama. Mama's over here pushing Margot in her stroller. All right, I've moved over to the side. I have my own koi posse over here. There's everybody else on the bridge. Definitely the majority of koi are right over there, but this is still a pretty significant amount, especially just being over here by myself. This is an experience, isn't it? Didn't think I'd be doing this today, and yet here we are. So we've had the koi fish over in the Japanese garden section of the botanical gardens, and now there's another little pond with some more koi fish in it, so we're gonna feed them over here as well. Have to throw this kind of all the way back there so you don't have them go over this waterfall here and underneath the bridge.
Very
Hopefully
far.
they can get those. I did my best, Dennis. All right, let's see if I can do a little bit better from over here. I'm just gonna throw all the food that I've left. There we go. They're getting it. Right now we're passing by the estate of the individual who donated the land in order to make botanical gardens. I think we're getting pretty close to completing our loop around the area. Is that right, Travis?
That's right.
We're getting close?
Yep.
All right, well, it looks like we've completed our lap around the botanical gardens because this is pretty much where we started. Kind of right over here. I think we still have an area over here to check out, and then we'll probably be heading out because we have to head to the airport in just about an hour and a half. So we're almost back to the front of the botanical gardens, which is right over there. There's a lot of construction going on over here, especially in this greenhouse. So that's kind of unfortunate because I think that Dennis has gotten to go in there before as well as everybody else. And they said it was a beautiful greenhouse, so I'm sure that they're doing some renovations. I think that there's a rose garden right over here. So I think we're gonna check that out and then probably head on back to the car. Yeah, this area is absolutely beautiful. Just the multitudinous varieties of roses. Everybody's walking around and enjoying the smells of. Did you enjoy our trip to the botanical gardens, Dennis?
I did. A rose by any other name is just as sweet.
All right, so now I think we are heading out of the botanical gardens. I think we have to kind of go, to get into the gardens, we kind of had to come like a weird way along the side, and I can pretty much understand why, because they are doing a lot of construction here. I guess what would normally be the entrance to the botanical gardens, I'm presuming, which is mostly back over there. So never mind, this is normally the entrance and the exit here. We just had to enter kind of an odd way. We kind of went right over here and then entered kind of along the side. So I guess we're just exiting through what would normally be the entrance and the exits. Here's one last look at the map, just kind of orienting kind of how we entered into the gardens and made our way all the way around and then kind of back where we started. So that was fun. That was a great way to spend a couple hours. All right, so now we're heading back to the parking lot to pile back into our cars, head back to Travis and Christine's place, and probably head out from there. We might hang out for a little bit, maybe play a game, maybe kind of talk and hang out, but for the most part, we gotta head back to the airport. All right, so we've made it back to Travis's place. Hi, Dennis.
Hello.
Where's Travis? Is he back here somewhere?
He's over there.
Travis, thank you for taking us to the botanical gardens.
You're welcome.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
All right, so we made it back to Travis's place, put it in order for some food, and now we are taking it back to his place. Travis has a bag up there. We went to, I think, kind of a Japanese fusion place where we got some ramen and then some sandwiches. Travis, Christine got some udon. Dennis, what'd you get there?
I got a basil crab cake sandwich.
And then I got a Korean cheesecake, even though I changed into a ramen shirt because it's kind of hot outside. I did not get ramen. I'm embarrassed. All right, so we just finished up with our lunch. I enjoyed my cheese steak, not my cheesecake. I think I called it a cheesecake. It was definitely not a cheesecake, but we are heading to Travis's car to the airport because my flight takes off in about an hour. All right, so we arrived at the airport. Travis is driving as he's about to drop us off. My flight takes off in about 45 minutes. Mom and Dennis, their flight takes off in probably about 2 hours or so, so they're gonna be able to relax a little bit. But Travis, thank you for letting us all come and visit. Thank you for letting me surprise you and being hospitable towards us all and just showing us all a good time. Okay, nothing to say back to that.
You're welcome, Roy. It's me, Travis.
Oh, it's me, Travis.
Founder, you're welcome.
Thank you, Roy. Put money in your IRA.
All right, I'll do my best. Good to see you again, Travio.
Love you, Roy.
All right, Mom, so I have my boarding pass. I'm about to head downstairs through security. Do you have any final words for our trip to St. Louis to visit Travis and
it was
Margot and Christine?
Just wonderful all being together, the whole family. We missed Dad being here, of course, but he was staying home to take care of Mama for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wonderful all being together again and getting to see the new addition of Margot to our family and just spending some fun time together as
And it was
always.
good to see you guys again, especially after your recent traumatic events of a house fire and a hurricane, you know?
Yep.
So
We
good
got
to see that you guys are still
another hurricane
doing good.
heading home.
Yeah, there's another hurricane in the
Gotta
Gulf,
get
so
home before it hits.
I hope it doesn't hit you guys too
Yes.
terribly, but I've got to go, so I'll see you guys later.
With you by the gate.
So unfortunately, Dennis is in an entirely different concourse than myself, so he's not going to be able to wait with me by the gates. But I have about half an hour to make it to my gate before they're probably going to shut the door in about 15 minutes. I think I made it on time. That's the fun of visiting my family, whether it's in St. Louis or Pensacola or maybe even Atlanta if I ever go visit Dennis, is that it's often pretty down to the line, down to the wire, because they like to utilize every single minute together. All right, so I made my flight with just a couple minutes to spare. I have an entire day to myself, which is actually really nice. It's about 2 hours back to Orlando. and here I am back in Orlando, heading back to the automated people mover to head back to the main terminal and then down to the shuttle and then back to my car that I parked in the economy day parking, and then driving all the way back home to Brennan and the dog and the cats and my little life that I've built here in Orlando, Florida. All right, made it on to the automated people mover. I'm heading downstairs, like I said, to the shuttle. It should be on first level, and it should be a pretty expedited trip back to my car. I definitely did not film any of that on my first day here just because it was super early in the morning, but it should be a pretty easy and convenient process. All right, I made it on to the shuttle, coming down to the bottom level of the airport. It should be a quick 5-minute trip back to the parking lot where I parked my car. And there goes my shuttle, and right here is my car. Time to make a long journey back home to the apartment. I'm pretty tired. It got kind of dark here. Well, it got legitimately dark here very fast, honestly. And hello from the apartment. Look who it is. It's Arlo. Look how fluffy he is again. Happy little puppy. There's a couple cats here as well. And then Brennan is over on the couch. Hi, Brennan.
Hi.
So that's kind of it. I think I'm gonna go end the video here because I'm hungry and I need to unpack. But that was an incredible trip to St. Louis to visit Travis and Christine and meet my new niece, Margot, and then hang out with Christine's parents, Dr. Chu and Mrs. Chu, and then just getting to surprise Travis by, I think I said this at the beginning of this like trip series where, I think I'm gonna go put it down. Yeah, so I coordinated it with my mom and Dennis, who planned to go up to St. Louis to visit Travis and Christine, and I did everything that I needed to do just to ensure a safe and successful trip up there by getting the various shots that I would have needed to be around the baby. And so I coordinated with them when they were going to be up there, and then I made my own flights and I created my own schedule to meet up with them to surprise Travis and stay in the same hotel that my mom and Dennis were staying in. And I didn't anticipate doing it because last year when Brennan and myself went, we did a lot. We went to the City Museum, we went to the Science Center, we explored Forest Park, we went to the top of the St. Louis Arch, we ate at a bunch of different places all around St. Louis. We went to the Apple Orchard. We went to a lot of places last year that I didn't anticipate that we were going to go to again just because of the current climate of the world, coronavirus. And we wanted to be as safe as possible during this trip. So it was a lot of just hanging out at the house and playing a bunch of board games and just ordering in a lot of food. But that was the point. That was the point of just hanging out with their family, hanging out with Margot, hanging out with Christine and her parents. And we definitely got to do that. And I did not show Margot at all in this video. And again, I hope that that is okay. I assume that it's okay because it's Christina Travis's baby. They have a more particular preference for privacy, at least right now and in the early times of Margot's life, which I think is completely justified. But I'm excited to have that relationship with Margot in the indefinite future and hopefully very near future. Now I've gone home to see my parents in Pensacola. I've gone to visit Travis and Christine and Margot in St. Louis, and Dennis is talking about me coming to visit him in Atlanta, but he just moved into his new place like a week ago, so I'm gonna give him a good amount of time to settle in before I make it up to Atlanta. But I appreciate you hanging out with me this week. I know this was a little bit different, and it's always complicated to do these kinds of videos with my extended family because it's a lot of people. All right, so my camera died, so I went to go grab Calvin. Calvin is about to be 1 year old in a couple days. That's incredible, 1 year old. He's so adorable. So like I was saying, it's complicated to do these kinds of videos with just a bunch of people and their different preferences for privacy when it comes to the internet, and just how everything changes because so much changed about this trip. We had planned to go somewhere for dinner and then that was closed, and then we wanted to go to the Apple Orchard, that was closed. There was another Apple Orchard, but then we tried to do the Botanical Gardens, that was closed, so we had to go to that on a different day. We had to just move everything around. We went to the zoo a bunch of times just because the plans kept on just shifting kind of consistently. So, but that's what it is. This is just me hanging out with my family, and everything consistently changes because that's just kind of how it works. I've also just decorated the house for Halloween here, so that's exciting. We're fully into the month of Halloween, so I absolutely anticipate getting spooky in the coming days. All right, I'm tired. Thank you again for hanging out with me and my family. I'll see you soon. Have a good day, and goodbye.